I want the scientific facts in the Bible. Julian, that's what I was looking at. We'll get to Johann later.
All right, I'll pull them up.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Julian, how
Hang
you
in there,
doing?
Johann.
Hello.
Hey,
Good.
Julian.
Hey. I had a quick question about I had a Christian friend of mine, and he had a Bible verse that he showed to me before when I was an atheist, and I just had a quick question about it.
Okay.
The verse is Job 38:16.
Okay. You
yeah.
want to tell us what it says?
Okay.
Or you have it, Mike? You got it, Mike. You
I
wanna
pulled
read
it up. Have you? I just don't know his. I just want. Yeah, his translation would probably be better because anyone can just be like, that's not the one. So I'd rather him just.
I'll read it. Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea? Hast thou entered into the search of the depth?
Yeah. What do you think that
And
means?
well, what my friend had told me was that I was watching a seminar from Kent Hovind, and he said that was a discovery found about 50, 60 years ago. I just wanted to know what does the verse amplify basically?
What was the discovery? I'm kind of
Yeah, it seems there's a lot of missing links here.
I'm in the dark here. So what are we saying that this Bible verse has proven some discovery? What are we talking about here?
Geysers found in the sea.
What is it?
Geysers, hot springs
Geysers.
that are found
Geysers.
in the ocean. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're saying that this verse somehow predicts that, and they only recently discovered it. And so what? I mean, what's the point of this? I guess I'm curious as to why this would be significant in any way.
If it was a fact proven before science, maybe.
And this vague verse in a vague book like Job is somehow proof of the geyser found in the midst of the sea. It's kind of a reach. It's kind of a really, really big reach, and it's kind of embarrassing, honestly, if Christians are needing to find something like this in what everyone acknowledges the book of Job is very vague in terms of its purpose and meaning. But if they're stretching this hard to make a verse somehow prove that God knew something, I would think if God was on his toes and wanted to show us something, he would have maybe given us a clue about germ theory, something that would be actually useful to humankind to prevent diseases that have wiped out whole populations in previous centuries because mankind didn't know about germs and didn't know that maybe you should wash your hands after going to the bathroom and maybe you don't get these diseases. If God was going to, and this is like a parlor trick. It's like, oh, God's going to give you a little clue in a book and you're going to find this geyser years later and everybody's going to go
specific location.
Yeah. And everybody's going to go, wow, look what God said long ago. He could have done that with germ theory or something that would have really helped humanity.
Yep, exactly. It's like the Quran verse that people give. Like it says the word expanse. Like, well, I don't really see atomic light nuclei or like hydrogen helium ratios or cosmic. I don't see any of those things that would be the hallmark of.
It's like when Christians say they saw the face of Christ in a piece of toast. He did some party trick so somebody can go, "Ooh." Instead, why didn't you go to a goddamn hospital and heal some kids? Do something that actually helps. Yeah. I mean, when Christians point to these kind of things as some kind of evidence for God, it's really, really embarrassing for their team, if you ask me. Go back home and find something to bring to us that actually has meaning, that someone can actually benefit from. Jesus Christ. Now I'm pissed, Mike.
I'll shift it over to you. But Julian, what do you want to respond to that? Because I mean, you got to admit, it's just, like, do you think that anybody would find this compelling? I mean, a Christian maybe who already buys into it, but
I guess the question I have, Julian, you're talking about your friend who puts this forth. What do you think about this?
Yeah,
you're the caller. Tell us what you think.
I was an atheist for basically most of my life. I recently just became a Christian not too long ago.
Okay, that's interesting.
Why? Yeah, why did you make that life change? Because they found geysers in the ocean?
Yeah, please tell me it's not because of the geysers in the ocean. I hope it was
more than that, brother. I hope it was more than that.
Especially since, like, you have to fight now over, like, whether or not Judaism or Christianity is true, because I don't know how that makes it exclusive to Christianity.
Yeah, why did you become a Christian, Julian?
Well, one thing about when I was an atheist was I would always, like, try to find a certain religion maybe, or, like, a certain religion that maybe I was just seeking for the truth. And when I became a Christian, I just
No. I'm sorry to cut you off, but not when you came, why you became. Because I feel like we're just going to skip that whole thing. Why? Yeah. When you get to the when I became, why was the reason there even is a when I became, right? What's that? How does when I became even come, like, into the world, right? What is the evidence that convinced you? Did you just read the Bible and were convinced? Like, what is that process? Because this was the answer we didn't get from Davis. That I don't know, for some reason, seems like theists are, like, unwilling to share this.
They're unwilling to answer simple questions, is what I'm finding. So why did you become a Christian, Julian? What compelled you to believe that this was the truth you were supposedly looking for? I have a separate question of, if you're an atheist living in the world, what is it that you're looking for? Why are you looking for a religion to give you some answers?
Well, because I feel like in the world we don't have all the answers. And so, when I was an atheist,
therefore,
I would seek
theism?
religion to find those answers.
That's my question. Yes. Why? Yeah, I guess that's my question before the one to answer why you became Christian. But why were you looking for religion for your answers? That's compelling to me. That's a mystery to me. I don't understand that compulsion. What is it about religion? Because it sounds like, although you said you were an atheist, it sounds like you were shopping for a religion that would fit your needs. Like you were cold, and instead of going into a building to warm up, you went shopping for a sweater, and you were looking for the particular religion that would fit you the best, and you landed upon Christianity. So why were you looking, and why'd you land on that one?
I feel like most of my questions, or most of what I'm trying to, like, seek for in life, I find mostly in the Bible.
For instance.
And
yeah, can you name one of those things?
Name something in the Bible that's given you an answer.
Well, so when I was an atheist, I really was not quite sure if there was any purpose for living, if there was any purpose for existing. Mm-hmm. And when I became a Christian, I realized how, like, in the Bible, it gives us so much hope for the future. And
like what kind of hope for the future? Break that down for me, because I'm a
life.
The hope for us being raptured and taken away.
So apparently. You're talking about hope for the future being a life after death, correct?
Yes.
Why is that important to you?
Because we see so much wickedness and evil in the world that it kind of feels like if there is no God, then there is no hope.
Okay, so what, right? If you don't like, look, if you like this whole idea that I need to hold on hope, and that somehow infers a God exists, is so artificial, all it's doing is comforting you in some way.
Yeah,
but robbing you of being intellectually honest with yourself, because you're not even employing any standard at which you go, hold on, does hope for something make it true? Because to me, like, the second I hear that, it gives me a lot of hope. I just go, so what? I can write a book and give you the most false sense of hope ever. I could be a great writer and just play psychological games on you, right? And just give you as much hope as I want. I don't know how that indicates truth for the claim, right? That's a separate thing.
And that's the thing, Julian. I hear where you're coming from. Go ahead.
Do you think that it could be possible that that a God could be real? Like, if the Bible was the word of God, do you think that it's possible?
Christianity, no, but I have my reasons.
Anything's possible. There could, when I die, I could ride a unicorn to a rainbow on another planet. I mean, that's possible. It's not likely, and it's just as unlikely that we go to some heaven after we die. That doesn't make sense on any physical or metaphysical level.
If you were to die, let's say, and let's say you had a short enough period of time, in that remaining part of your life, do you think that you would accept Jesus before you died, or you wouldn't?
Well, let's just cut to the chase here, Julian. I do have a short period left. I have a terminal disease. I have ALS. I've been living with it for 4 years now, and the life expectancy thank you, I probably have another two years to live. I know I look healthy from the shoulders up, but if you saw me walk and try to pick something up, you would know there's something wrong with me. I'm an atheist. I used to be a believer. I used to believe in a heaven. I used to believe in an afterlife. I came to the conclusion that's nonsense. So I am that person you're thinking of when you ask that question. If you knew you had a short period of life, would you become a believer? Hell no, because it doesn't make any sense. And as Mike pointed out, holding on to some,
true, though.
Let me finish, please. Holding on to some misguided hope because it makes me feel better is nonsense. Now, life is hard. I'll grant you that. There's evil in the world, there's wickedness, but there's also beauty, there's love, there's goodness, there's compassion. There are wonderful people. Rather than hold out to some utopian idea of something after this life, why not get busy making this life better for yourself and those around you? Why not build hope into this life, the one life we do know we have, and make it a better place? And we all have the ability to do that. We all have the ability to create purpose and create meaning all around us every day. We don't need some mythological story in an ancient book written by men with an agenda to get us there. We can live in the here and now, in the reality we know, and not rely on fables and stories. And don't come back and say, what if it is true? Because I could just say, what if it's not? And we could do that for the next hour. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, and it just seems kind of silly. And we'll have to move on here in a second. But it seems a little silly because it's like I could just have hope for Roland, Forrest's goblin monster in his closet. And I could, if I told you that gives me hope and I made these same kind of claims to you, you would probably look at me sideways, especially if you're someone who goes, well, there's a real life in front of me, and I don't take this as the cosmic doormat that I wipe my feet off before the real life starts. Because imagine how you're going to be robbed once you come to that recollection, and you have wasted a lot of your time, right? I mean, it works. It can work either way.
Live now, man. Live now, Julian. This is all we got. It's all we know we got. And wanting something to be true doesn't make it true. But we got to move on. But thanks for your call.
And I'd point out that when I go back, and I don't like doing this. I don't like always telling someone because I feel like I'm like lecturing them. But I would like you to go back over the call and look at every time I asked you and then cut you off why you became a Christian once you brought that up. Notice that you immediately skipped it and you went to, well, when I became a Christian. You just totally robbed me and Dave of that. So if we were ever to come to Jesus, you didn't even you wouldn't even have given us a fair chance to hear what the evidence is, right? Yeah. So how could we even be blamed for it? And this would be Davis and you. We're not getting anything, right? I'm asking directly and I'm not getting anything. So I don't really know how that's going to be an issue of mine when I ask theists and do an incoming a call-in show with incoming calls and ask them, and I don't get it.
Right? No answers. Yep.
So I don't know, but we do appreciate the call and call back. No hard feelings on that.
Yeah. Thanks,
like
Julian.
But
thank you.
Take care, buddy.
Have a good day. Thank
you too.